I discovered and shortly fell in love with this absolute monster. This is just a tank of Soviet steel. And the one that I got didn't come with any skin on it, as you can see here. So it's even more just Spartan and bare and just intense. This just feels indestructible. It's not that uncomfortable to carry. Like, I feel like the weight's fairly well balanced. So I got the camera body, got a prism, got the lens. Let's get into it. First things first, I added this handle, a little plastic handle. You can put a flash on there if you feel so inclined, but I just kind of wanted something to hold on to, and it's just screws onto the tripod mount. So it actually comes off fairly easily. Just unscrew that. And we'll set that aside for now so we can finish going through the camera. So this is what it looks like. It's an SLR, so single lens reflex. The mirror comes down here, so when you look through the prism or when you look through the top, you look through the lens essentially. Also, I added this Tiffin enhancing filter. I saw that it does something with some of the colors. It brings out more of the reds and the blues and stuff, so I had it laying around, so I figured I'd give it a shot. But I will take that off. It's kind of got a interesting look to it. Oh, and then the other final addition was just this. I just thought it kind of looked cool. Added some flare. This is it. This is what I got. It was wrapped in tinfoil. Just kidding. It was wrapped in bubble wrap, and it was shipped in just this disintegrating cardboard box. This is the shutter speed dial. We have speeds from bulb up to 1,000. I think this is half a second. Yeah, just about. Sometimes if you have it on 2 here, it'll actually fire on bulb. I've noticed that happens quite a bit, so that's something I guess to keep in mind. But the shutter speeds, other than that, work perfectly fine. It has this really nice tin sound when you're clicking through it. On the top here, we have the prism. This prism will detach, line up the red dots, squeeze these on the side, and then kind of pull it up and out. So this is the prism unit. The TTL is through the lens. There are, I think, batteries out there. I don't have a battery for this, but you can put a battery in there. And then it has the settings up here, so there's some sort of light meter function. I don't know how reliable that is, so I didn't want to go out and spend however much money to get this very specific battery when I could just use like a spot meter. It's nice to have the option of like the hip level viewfinder. Focus screen itself, like without the prism attached, is workable. Like I've taken a few shots with this setup, but it's definitely better to just have this on. Here we have the advanced lever. It's a very like mechanical sound there. The frame counter right there. So you push it in towards the lens and push down, and that opens up the back. Got a nice cloth curtain here. You put your new spool in here, slide it in over here. You have these tabs there which lift up and out. Same thing over here. So it's just incredibly simple. It definitely shows some signs of aging. And got like, looks like some mold buildup in the curtain here, which is pretty common with these cloth curtains and stuff. So I plan on doing a full cosmetic redo of this camera, which will take place in the next few weeks. But line up the film with that red dot there. When you're advancing, good to go. You'll notice the shutter button is in the front as opposed to on the top. This was the Soviet knockoff of the Pentagon 6. That's kind of how that camera was made, and they just kind of copied it. This came with a lens that I can't pronounce, but it's an 80mm 2.8. I've shot some pictures with this, and I'll put them right here. The lens itself, it has a good focus range, from infinity, which I think works pretty well, all the way down to 0.6 meters, which I don't know what that equates to in feet because I've not taken a math class since 2015. I don't speak Russian, so I don't really know what this lens is called, but I will look it up and I will put the name here. Where's the mirror, right? When I first got it, I thought that was a fault, and I thought I'd have to, great, I just got this camera, I have to take it apart and fix it. But that's actually not the case. When you advance, the mirror comes down. And when you fire, it goes back up. So it's a very easy way to know if you've advanced the film or not. Most other mirrors and stuff have complex systems and bumpers in place to make sure that the mirror comes back down. But this was just like, nah, screw that. And there's no timing mechanism for the mirror either. All of the timing is dedicated strictly for the shutter. And I just find that like complete rerouting is incredibly hilarious. And I believe that the flash sync speed is 30, but don't quote me on that. I'm just saying that because it is red there. So I'm assuming that that's what it is, and it's probably around that range anyway. There's a notch there, and there's a deal here. So you just click that into place and then lock it in. Lens is good to go. You have an aperture preview switch here. So you press that down, that'll move the blades so you can kind of get a better sense of what exposure you're going to be shooting at. Once you get the viewfinder on, I always just lock it into place to make sure it's not going anywhere. Put my filter back on. And then finally, last but not least, I will add this nice handle. And this is just like a plastic handle from an off-brand flash gun. So you can really attach this onto anything. I just think it adds a nice little thing to grasp onto. And also there's no cold or hot shoe on this camera. So if I did want to shoot a flash, it's good to have that. And then I just route it to the sync port right there and good to go. So quite simply, this is the Kiev 60. It is a basic Soviet recreation of the Pentagon 6. It's a 6x6 medium format. I hope you enjoyed the video, hope you learned something. I'll be making more content about this guy soon because it's just a treasure trove of fun times right here.